Tell me about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Wichita, Kansas, Wesley Medical Center. Raised in, just south of Wichita. It's called Hayesville, Kansas. Between there and Oklahoma, that's all my stomping ground. At a young age, I knew I was a black sheep. I'd been a black sheep most of my life. My parents, my dad, he never really beat me. It's my adopted family and all that. They didn't really beat me, but they really didn't seem like they cared for me. They tried to put me on medications here and there, saying that this is wrong with me, that's wrong with me. And, back then, I don't think anything was wrong with me. Throughout life, people will develop different things like depression, anxiety, and that's from just different things that you have to go through. And in the end, it makes you, who you are. You could become a monster or not. And so, through schooling, I did drop out, but I did get my GED later on. But schooling, I didn't like. Middle school, elementary, started in elementary school. I get bullied all the time. I would never go and tell, my dad or my mom because, they were busy. They also had kids themselves, and so, and part of me didn't feel like they liked me. So, I was kind of off on my own about that. There was a point in time that I'd gotten, I'd had enough of it. And one day I just woke up and I was like, I wish somebody would today. And that day somebody did. Just like every other day, dude came and slammed me into the locker, and we ended up scrapping, fighting after school that day. And they tried to sue me, but thank God there was like videos of evidence that I was being bullied all the time. So got through with that. Middle school, it was just all crap. High school, it started to chill out a little bit.
Let's talk a little bit about, just so I understand correctly, you got adopted into a family.
Yeah.
And there's other kids.
Yeah.
How many other kids did you grow up with?
All together, there are 8 of us, I believe.
And how old were you when you got adopted into that family?
About 5.
So, do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's you're young, so you remember some things, some other things. I remember being in a submarine when I was young. We took a submarine from Virginia Beach, Virginia to Florida and back.
Oh, wow.
I guess we went to Universal Studios. I don't really remember that. I don't remember Florida, but I do got, there's a whole bunch of them, or there's a whole bunch of us.
But 1 to 5. Where were you at 1 to 5 years old? Before the adoption?
That I don't really know.
Gotcha.
There's a whole, there's a lot of holes in my life. Like, there's some things, and I don't know why I don't remember. Maybe it's just because like it's traumatizing, and it's just like my mind has blocked it out completely. But, like when I was younger, I don't know.
Just kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, it's real fuzzy. Now at about 11, 12, I think I remember everything after, at about 10, 11, I wouldn't even say 10, I don't remember anything at 10. 11, about like midway through 5th grade is where I started remembering a lot. Not everything, but quite a bit.
But with those eight kids, that's a lot of kids. And my guess is not much privacy.
You can find the privacy.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Me being the black sheep, nobody really gave a fuck about me. So.
Yeah, well, why do you say that? No, it's fine. You be you. Say what you want to say.
I say it because it's like, I felt like nobody really came and checked on me. Nobody really cared. Like, there's a lot of time that suicide went through my head a lot. There's been more than a couple times, I had hung myself on a rope and found myself on the floor later on. Yeah, I didn't cut that rope. Neither did my parents, because I would have went to the hospital those times.
And this is at what age?
Middle school.
Yeah.
couple times in high school, even a couple times well after that.
And what was, I mean,
All the way down till 2021. I was in Nashville. I tried it out there too, but I'm 33 now.
I want to be very delicate with this.
Yeah.
But it's like, what was happening? Why did you feel like that was an answer?
You know, I've had friends of mine do it and succeed at the first time. You know, I'm not scared of death. It's supposed to be a celebration, but it's just like, part of me thinks that this world isn't for me. You know, like so many people, I mean, to this day, you know, it's not like I defend myself every time, but a lot of people like to pick on me. A lot of people put me down. A lot of people just don't, you know, even here, a lot of people don't care. I could be, you know, there's been times where I was so cold and people had just pissed me off so much here, just with their uncaring attitudes, that I was in downtown Seattle off of, it was like Pike and 3rd and Pike or 4th and Pike, somewhere around there, right where the monorail is, essentially. And I started making a blockade across the road. I wasn't gonna let cars go through. I mean, I had a lot of them stopped, semi trucks. I mean, I can't remember the exact initials of the, it's like WD something. They're people that are street outreach. They came and like I was going through it that morning. But it was just because people don't care.
And you felt like this is built up and built up and built up.
Yeah.
In times where you're like, I want to leave the earth.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that's how it is. I mean, and you know, it's been like, you know, people should really care, because there's people like me, like, you know, what if I would have succeeded? You know, way back in the day when I was still a teenager, there's 2 women. One of them I couldn't keep alive, you know, that wasn't my fault. But there's 2 women that had overdosed and nobody around knew how to do CPR except for me. They wouldn't be here if I would have succeeded way back then.
Yeah, that's, I feel, again, it's like somebody in middle school to endure that much pain and hurt to go, I'm gonna exit the world, makes me sad.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're here to tell your story.
My stories helped people, you know, very few times has a lot of people heard my story, but I mean, you know, it's helped people. It's helped multiple people, you know, I'm sure more than just one, but I know it's at least, helped 2.
Well, let's keep going. So you got your GED, you said?
Yeah, so I got my GED when I was in prison. I did 47 months in the penitentiary for an aggravated burglary, felony theft, and an aggravated escape from custody. I did that. Just, you know, it's my fault. I could have done more time than that, and you know, I'm blessed that I didn't. I've not caught any felonies, you know, since then. You know, I've caught a couple of misdemeanors, you know, but you know, that really opened my eyes. Prison, that was not something.
Tell me more about that.
I fought a lot. A lot of the time we didn't get caught because there's not cameras from my cell all the way back. So I was in the 3rd tier. First day that I was in prison, or no, the 3rd day I was in prison, 3 guys tried to jump me, and I beat them down. Like I wasn't gonna have it. I'm only like 140 pounds. You know, these guys were a little bit, you know, stockier than me. Like they'd been there. You know, they were gang members. Like it was scary. I didn't know what was going to go. I knew I was going to get tested in there because I got tested in, you know, just the Cedric County Jail, you know, so many different times. And, you know, for the first while, I didn't talk to my dad or anybody. My sister had turned me into the police. And part of me is glad she did. And part of me is, you know, I don't forgive her for it, but, you know, part of me does. You know, it's the trust and betrayal that, you know, keeps me from. But I'm glad I did, because I did get my GED. Prison was rough. I passed it on the first day, and I'm glad I did, because that next day I think I went to SEG. But it's, you know, I fought a lot. You know, I was very healthy in prison. I feel like I was much more healthier in prison than I was outside of prison.
Defining healthy as defined as what? What do you mean healthy?
I was in tip-top shape.
Well, yeah, you were saying you were running.
I came out of I ran. I could sprint 12 miles, and I did most of the time that I was in prison. I played handball, which I've grown very fond of, and I wish I could find some players out here. That is one of even if I was a sports fanatic, that is my top number one sport that I would I really hope I could find some players out here. It's super fun. It gets you. People think it's a lot of cardio, but it will also build muscle all at the same time. But to me, it's just fun.
And if you're doing that for, what'd you say, 47 months?
I would say I did that for 2 years straight. I did do altogether about 47 months.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're gonna build some muscle, right?
Yeah. And so I came out of prison at 260.
Yeah. So that's my next question. So when you came out of prison, where did life lead you?
So I had my GED. The first thing that went through my mind is, I want to go to college. I need to get a job. We had it set up that I was going to stay with that same sister that turned me in, which I was all right with. It gave me a place to stay, roof over my head. But I got out of there as quick as I could, met some chick, and I shouldn't have. I should have took it slower. I might have succeeded a little bit more than I did, but life's going to throw its curveballs regardless. And, but I jumped in a job. Still to today, my ultimate goal is I want to be a cosmetologist. I started at Paul Mitchell out of St. Louis, Missouri. I did about 100 hours there and got screwed over, I feel like. Got kicked out over something I didn't even do. They didn't find any evidence. I didn't do it. They kicked me out over a weapons violation, never even searched me, my bag, my locker, my cosmetology kit, nothing, and found a weapon. And I got the email to this day that I was terminated for violating the weapons violation. But I still really want to do that. It's just hard being out here on the street. You could tell a million people, what you want to do, that, you're trying out here and, you need help. And you can be, you can sit on the corner and cry all day long for help. You can walk around and tell thousands of people out here, this is what you're trying to do. Is there any kind of way that even resources? And 99% of the time, they have no idea. They've got nothing for you. Every once in a while, somebody might come and give you a little bit of cash, but cash is the least of what I want. I don't care about the cash. I'm trying to find a resource to get me into some kind of a shelter or housing that, so that I can go to college.
Yeah.
It is very hard.
Well, if you have that those 100 hours that are still there,
they're not going to transfer.
They're not going to transfer here.
I've tried, but what's kind of cool though is that Paul Mitchell in St. Louis, Missouri. That's where I went. I'm core 158. They even put my picture. Took a whole class picture and put it on Facebook. I wish they wouldn't, because most of us got kicked out of school. But they were going to charge me like $26,000 or $28,000 for the program. I come here to Washington State, and I think it is $12,600 is what they told me I was going to pay with the Washington State grant. I get a Pell Grant because I'm a felon, attempting to change my life around. That's a huge difference.
Yeah,
that's over half of my schooling paid for. It's just, and see,
hope.
Right now, the only thing stopping me, 2 weeks worth of outfits, just so that I know that I can go to school fresh every day, and a place that I can store my stuff at, because we won't have a locker there. I have to have my cosmetology kit with me. And that right there, being on the street, I take a risk if I'm on the street of somebody robbing me for a $4,000 kit.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about what brought you to Seattle.
So I love the rain and I love trees. Like, I wanted to be closer to the forest. Those are the most beautiful things in life to me. That and seeing somebody smile after I gave them a sweet haircut.
But you came from where to Seattle?
The South.
The South.
Oh, yeah.
And why did you pick Seattle?
because it's a big city, I didn't know that it was going to be like this at all. I didn't know that the resources were, I mean, they really do got decent resources here. The only downfall is trying to get into housing. The shelters are very hard to stay in, and it's not even just the people that are living in the shelters, it's the staff members also. But aside from all that, I mean, Seattle, this place is beautiful. Bigger cities are always easier to find resources for help. You almost have to be patient. But Seattle is I didn't know it was going to be like this. Back when I was 17, we used to get Candy Kush mailed to us in Kansas, but in Hayesville.
What, from Seattle?
Yeah, I could stick a nug, and we did. We would stick a nug on our wall, and it'd be there for almost a whole month before we smoked it.
Gosh. Well, let's see. Let's talk a little bit about, currently you're unhoused.
Yeah.
And when did that first happen? And how?
Here or?
Just maybe in your life period.
I would say, well, it's been on and off. You could almost say that I chose the life, but I didn't choose it. I was young, a teenager.
When you first didn't have a home.
I would say, for sure, I was about 17. I dropped out of school at 17. I was supposed to be a junior. I was supposed to be a junior in high school. I was still a freshman. And so, but yeah, it's been off and on. There's been a couple of times that I've had my own place. I've had a 2017 Camaro RS. I've had a 01 Audi TT Quattro all at the same time. 4-bedroom house.
And is that you're like working?
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
I made a lot of money on the web and got it all taken from me. Ex-fiance, and it happens.
Sometimes relationships don't work out.
Yeah, true. I hope to get married one day. I mean, I really do. That's one thing I've always wanted, and it's, not necessarily just to be married. I want a family.
Yeah, totally, man. That's a beautiful dream and beautiful goal.
I mean, I got my little. Well, he's crashed out right now, but I got it's my kid. He's 4-legged. He's half Blue Nose Pit, half Husky, but and he's definitely my family. It'd also be cool to have more of a family, a bigger one, much bigger, or to create a whole family, something.
Well, so when you moved to Seattle, did you have housing?
No.
So you came here and started living on the street?
Yeah.
Or shelters or?
Nope. I didn't go to a shelter right off the bat. I didn't even try to. I didn't want to. There's been a time in my life where I specifically lived only off of the land. I hunt and killed everything, skinned it, I made my own bath soap and stuff, and that's just over researched. Google and YouTube teach you everything.
YouTube everything.
Man, I'm telling you, you can.
Yeah, that's right.
Car engines, everything. It's
an incredible resource.
So.
But you came to Seattle, and how long ago was this?
About a year and a half ago.
Okay, and started living on it. Yeah, so,
But I came from. I was just outside of New Orleans. About 45 minutes is where I moved from, and I moved from New Orleans from St. Louis.
Gotcha.
So, but here it's I like it. I wish I can. I wish I can get. I wish I can get into shelter though. Everybody says that they will try, but it doesn't seem. I get swept under the rug often.
Yeah, that system seems to me very confusing, and there's room, there's not room, there's housing, there's not housing, there's tiny homes.
Hey, if you talk to the people that are in all of them, they say there's room.
Yeah, I don't. It's confusing to me.
When I was in the shelters, there was room.
Interesting. But then there's shelters where you can't bring your dog. You can bring your dog. Is that, I don't know.
So they do have shelters that you can bring your dog in. I don't know if the ones that I've only been in 2.
Okay.
I don't know if they even allow dogs or not. I don't see how they would deny a dog if you've got a service animal. and I'm a little iffy on what they say about service animal, because there's your emotional support dog, and then you got a service animal. There's two different names there, but essentially I feel like those are the same thing. And essentially, if you have an animal, I don't believe that you should be able to be denied housing at all for having an animal, no matter what kind or breed, as long as it's not attacking other people. I mean, I've got a pit bull mix, and he's the most sweetest, loving dog during the day.
He's a cool
He's
dog.
still sweet and loving at night.
Yeah.
I mean, be weary. But that's his, that's his protective side. We're family, so he's gonna do his job.
Well, Marcus, where are you sleeping tonight?
Tonight, I might sleep somewhere here in Ballard. If not, I'll sleep. It could be anywhere from Seattle Center. I do like that garden. You got to check that out.
You were
sometime.
talking to me earlier about it.
Yeah, if not that garden, I will go back up either to. Well, this guy might need a haircut, so I could go to either U District, which I don't like being out there. It seems a little rough out there too. But I'll either go to UW, University of Washington, sleep on the campus somewhere, or I'll just go back up into Shoreline, North Shoreline. It's a nice little area out there, safe-ish.
And you've been through a winter here.
Yeah.
And last winter was pretty cold. How did you survive that? Shelter?
I was, no, not really. I was in a shelter a little bit until they stole my laptop from me, and at that I had it with people. At that point, because I think it was this guy that I trusted. Like, I thought I could call him a friend, and between it's either him and this other guy, or it's Seattle Center Armory security guards that had something to do with it. I mean, for all I know, they all four had something to do with it. But when they sold that laptop, I'd gone through a lot over that laptop, had guns pulled out on me, and it was more than just value of that. I bought it for $1,800 just to play Warzone specifically. I'm a huge Call of Duty Warzone fan, and when that got stolen, I didn't go back to the shelter.
You no longer feel safe there.
Yeah, it's not like I haven't been through winters sleeping on ice before, because I've slept on ice. It gets cold. I've gone, I've had to go through, walk around. I didn't have to. I could have just went back, to my dad or mom's house and be like, yo, I'm fucking cold, but I didn't. I chose to be outside, when I was way younger, just still a kid, still living at their house, feet so cold that I could feel my bones while I was walking. And, in my mind, that was just a test. So last winter, the cold here is a little bit different. It's, it got cold, I'm not gonna lie. It got really cold.
Really wet.
Yeah, it'll chill you to the bone through and through out here. If you're not careful, there were people out here that died last year because it was cold. And that's kind of scary to me. I don't sleep at night when I'm cold like that. During the wintertime, I refuse to sleep at night like that, because even though there's been times in my life where I didn't want to survive, I didn't want to go on with life, and I tried not to. There's also times in my life where I'm like, what, somebody might need my help, or guidance or something. So it's it's a survival instinct.
Right.
I'm gonna try to stay alive at this point, and it's almost like a test. How much can I endure? Yeah. And honestly, I can endure a lot. It's crazy to think of the temperatures I've even gone through. Crazy to think of how far I've had to walk before I can eat and drink. What I've had to do to eat and drink. Some of it's kind of nasty, but survival.
That's a reality that people, it's like part of why I do this. Is it's a reality that people don't think about or know about. Of I need to walk this far to just eat.
Yeah.
I am very privileged where I can walk to my kitchen and my refrigerator and eat. So tell me about that.
People don't, it's, you're very blessed to be able to get to walk. I wish everybody could just walk to their kitchen to eat, Right. There's some people out here that, even though that food banks are everywhere, it seems like, but there's parts of this city that you could be in that there's not a food bank everywhere. You go out to Bremerton, you gotta walk a long way just to get to a food bank. And people out people out here, they're not as kind as what what some people are in the South. I could jump on the back of somebody's car out there in the South and they'll give me a ride down the street type of stuff. That's real country living out there. We take care of each other out there.
They call it Southern hospitality.
Yeah, that right there is a lot. I wish Southern hospitality was up here, but I don't feel like it is. I hope one day it is.
Well, you're bringing some.
Oh man, right. I'm raising some.
well, let's talk about that. Taking a shower, eating,
So taking a shower, you can. I have to go. Essentially, it's like going from one city to the next. I go from one city to the next there to take a shower. Until I find something up closer by there. But these ones out here, I can take a shower 7 days a week if I choose to. Some days it's not like that. Some days I'm just so busy with everything else. I like what I have, and I don't want none of it stolen, so I don't want to leave it anywhere. A goal of mine is to buy. I don't steal anymore because that's why I went to prison. I'm not going to go back to prison unless somebody does something bad enough to me that I commit a felony that you're going to go for life without the chance. But I want to buy a safe, and that way I can bolt it to the bottom of a tree and I can put everything in it, because you're not going to cut down that tree before I can get back to it. So at least then I know everything's safe every day, because I'll bolt it to another tree if need be. You're not going to cut down all the trees.
I don't even know if a safe is safe out here.
True.
It's like
these people are crazy when they talk about breaking into something. I mean, I want to, I would almost say that I could put my money on some of these street people that they could break into any safe.
Well, street or non-street people, it's like you see a safe bolted to a tree, you're going to attract a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
with a lot of
they're going to be like, yo, there's a safe
tools,
over here. You want to try and come
with
get
a lot
it?
of
And they're going to
tools.
come up with some stuff you've never seen before. Never seen.
Yeah.
Probably some crazy stuff. Lasers you never even have thought of.
Well, today I met you at the Commons. Tell me about why you went there today.
I went there today because I needed another ID. I done lost my wallet, I'll say. There's no exact guarantee telling where it's at. I've got a lot. I've got quite a bit of stuff. As you can see, that I carry with me. But that's stuff to keep me and my puppy right. I want to make sure that he eats before I eat. He drinks before I eat. So, a wallet is, and I lose wallets. But if I keep my, I've got a pocket, full of debit cards, EBT, stuff like that, and I don't lose that. It's easier for me to lose a wallet. But I went there because I need a little bit of resources. I got bit by a brown recluse. My hand's still swelled. I gotta, in the next day or two, I need to go get my prescription from the store, which she sent it off already. So I'm sure by the time, if I make it there today, hoorah. If not, hopefully I make it there tomorrow, because it's getting bad.
But even that process of so you got a prescription, now you got to go get it.
Yeah.
And you don't
might take
have
a day or two.
So how do you get there?
I might walk. I might take a bus. It depends.
And where is it? In Safeway somewhere?
It's up there in South Shoreline. So
you got to go way up north.
Yeah.
To go get a prescription, and then figure out where you're gonna sleep.
Yep.
And that's
I got to figure out where my puppy's gonna sleep, because I take care of this guy.
Yeah.
He is. I could say that he's more taken care of than I am. Yeah. His needs are way before me. Having him makes me even, keeps me off of the drugs, which is a goal of mine. There's one day, regardless, whatever situations I'm going to come in, I'm not going to use anymore. I'm sure my dad is 100% guaranteed I'm going to be a drug addict for life. Wrong. I'm a recovering drug addict now. I might relapse here and there, and one day I hope I don't. But yeah, it's a little rough. We sleep in different spots, and crazy little spots sometimes. I try not to sleep in a place that somebody will trash or come upon us. It can get dangerous out here. Yeah. Real dangerous.
You talk to your folks still?
I haven't talked to them in over a year now.
Gotcha. They know where you are?
Yeah.
And your siblings, are you ever close with them?
I don't talk to them.
It didn't sound like you were close to them growing up. But.
No, I don't talk to them.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to my brother in over a decade.
Yeah.
He don't give a shit about me. He would have helped me back in Nashville when I went to Nashville, and he did not. And that really threw me for a loop because I felt like he was, I felt like he was one person that out of anybody, you know what I mean? That's my that's blood, 100% blood brother right there. I felt like he would have helped me, and it was like even then I was crying for help. I needed help, I was willing, I still am willing to do anything, for my family, but that's not my family's not always blood either.
That's
so
right. You have chosen family too.
True.
Which sometimes, a lot of the times, are more healthy than your
people
blood.
also say that blood or what is it? Blood's not as thick as water or something like that. Well, how I say it is family never started as blood, so
yeah, interesting.
And it never does. That was never, Adam and Eve weren't brother and sister.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Well, and that's if you believe in that. So everybody is definitely entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, true.
I can't hate anybody's opinion.
It's true.
Well, I can't say that. I can't say that it's wrong, but everybody is totally entitled to.
You don't have to agree with it.
Yeah, I don't have to agree with it.
Absolutely not. One last question before we wrap up that I like to ask, Mark, is there anything that you want the people of Seattle to know?
There's a lot, and when it all comes down to it, care about people. Because there's people there's still people out there like me, that do care. I'm not out to see what other people can, what I can get out of other people. I don't want, things from somebody like everybody, and there's people out there like me that we want help, we need help. I'm not going to sit on the corner with a sign and beg for money. Some people do, and I don't hate you for that or say that's wrong. But me, I'd like to get a job and go to college or something like that. And it's tough because people out here, they don't care. Even in other states, they don't care, and it's everywhere. But people need to understand that there's people out here that emotionally, like we are so far down, there's still days that I want to kill myself. So if anything, the Seattle freeze, what they call it, stop letting that be your excuse to be fucking rude to somebody. That's wrong. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's hard to say it because it's like, man, there's so many different ways to say it, but you know what? What if everybody could slap somebody if you were rude to them? You know how many people be getting slapped stupid? You know what I mean? And that would suck,
Yeah.
But it might even make people straighten up a little bit, quit being rude and just care about somebody, because, if not, what happens, what if everybody hated each other? Hate isn't something good. That's not, you know what I mean? I've been through hell and back. Other people have gone through worse than I have, but we talking almost, I've been kidnapped before. I don't even think my parents know that I've been kidnapped 3 different times at that.
What is it? Tell me about that.
A couple times it's been over my laptop. That people just wanted my stuff, and I'm the type of person that, and I shouldn't be like this. I'm sure if I had a family, it'd be my mindset on that would be different, but I don't. I don't have people that really care about me. So, but they wanted my laptop, and I'm not one to just give up anything. I would have been perfect in war because I'm blessed those guns never went off when they pulled the trigger, dead ass aimed at my forehead, ready to kill me over a laptop.
So you're saying that something like if you had a family, you would
my mindset
think differently
would be,
about you.
Yeah, about how about self-care.
Right.
I would.
And that
I probably wouldn't attempt suicide as much or want to, and just different things like I'd also have the help to I'm sure I'd also have the help of, hey, I want to come up in life and this is what I want to do. So I'd have more guidance. And, you know, most of everything I've learned is all on my own. You know, I had to start from scratch, especially in prison, you know, but it really, that was an eye opener. I don't do as much crime or, you know, and it was just misdemeanor thefts. And at a point in time, it was thefts just so that I can eat or drink or, you know, but it's, you know, it gets rough out here. And I mean, I'm not going to give up.
Yeah. No, man, I hope you don't.
I'm going to keep pushing forward. I mean, you know.
Well, I think there's a piece of like, Marcus, you have value, you have worth, man.
Yeah.
Like
I still have.
Samson needs you.
Yeah.
Samson needs you.
Somewhere out there, somebody needs me.
Yeah, people need haircuts. Like,
oh yeah.
I hear this goal of I want to get housing, and start doing this my profession again.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I get there? That's the journey.
No matter what. I mean, I'm very good at cutting hair. I'm very good at dyeing hair. You know, I've got a small little portfolio I've been working on. I can add so many more photos, but I haven't yet. You know, of haircuts, hair coloring. Man, I've even got a teacher's nail set I did in Paul Mitchell. She paid me for it.
Great. Awesome. Hey, it's good to hear your voice.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah. Hang in there. Dude,
I do.
Hang in there.
I try. Whoa,
sorry.
whoa. My bad, baby boy.
That's how
I gotta quit beating up my dog.
That's how people get bit. Oh my God.